Making headlines. The President conveys felicitations to Prime Minister Modi and the BJP for their victory in the Indian general elections of 2024. Prime Minister Modi pledges to further strengthen relations between India and the Maldives. And the President launches the largest tree planting program ever conducted in the Maldives, pledging to plant 5 million trees. Welcome to the English News. I'm your host Malak Ahmed Fayaz. Now for the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu conveys heartfelt felicitations to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the BJP and the BJP-led National Democratic Alliance (NDA) for their victory in the Indian general elections of 2024. The President expressed congratulations on a post shared on social media. Highlighting the BJP's win for the third consecutive term, President Dr. Muizzu expressed his optimism about working together to enhance the shared objectives of both countries in the pursuit of development and stability. Furthermore, Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif also forwarded his congratulations to Prime Minister Modi and his party for the noteworthy achievement. In the post shared on social media, the Vice President revealed hopes that bilateral ties would be further strengthened under Modi's leadership. While the BJP has achieved a significant success in the elections for the third consecutive term, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the first person to serve as the Indian Prime Minister for 3 consecutive terms. Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi pledges to further strengthen relations between India and the Maldives. The statement came after President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu congratulated his coalition on its victory in India's general elections. In a social media post, President Dr. Muizzu extended his congratulations to Prime Minister Modi on the BJP and its National Democratic Alliance (NDA) winning the 2024 general elections, marking the BJP's third consecutive term. He expressed hope for continued collaboration between the two nations to promote development and stability. In response, Prime Minister Modi thanked President Dr. Muizzu for his message. He emphasized the close ties between India and the Maldives and expressed his desire to work together to further enhance bilateral relations. Additionally, Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif congratulated Prime Minister Modi on his electoral victory. Modi extended his gratitude to the Vice President for his congratulatory message. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu launches the largest tree planting program ever conducted in the Maldives, pledging to plant 5 million trees. The program was officially inaugurated on June 5th at a special ceremony. President Dr. Muizzu planted a special tree in the inauguration, a rare species in the Maldives that grows to 35 meters and is used in local medicine. Both President Dr. Muizzu and First Lady Sajida Mohammed participated in the tree planting ceremony, along with Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif and his spouse Aisha Afreen Mohammed, Speaker of Parliament Abdul Rahim Abdullah, and Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Energy Tawfiq Ibrahim. The President announced the 5-year tree planting initiative during the 28th session of the Conference of the Parties COP28, the largest environmental forum. The program's launch coincided with World Environment Day and took place at Lonuziar Park in Malé City, with similar launches occurring across the atolls. The key focus of the program is the revival of endangered species, with 90 species listed as endangered in the Maldives. To inaugurate the initiative, 22 species of trees were planted in the park, including endangered trees, fruit trees, garden trees, shade trees, and medicinal plants. The event also featured information on significant trees included in the program and a video highlighting their importance. The government urges all citizens to participate in the tree planting effort. In addition, neighboring countries have pledged to donate trees to support the Maldives' ambitious 5 million tree planting program. The Ministry of Homeland Security and Technology sets a deadline to pay Minister of Homeland Security and Technology Ali Hassan underscores the commitment of the present administration to ensure equal enforcement of the law by the police forces during the inaugural ceremony of the Maldives Police Services MPS strategic plan for the next 4 years. Minister Hassan officially inaugurated the strategic plan for the MPS, outlining key objectives and principles for the upcoming 4 years. He reaffirmed that the present administration will not interfere with or influence the MPS to discriminate against any individual. Instead, the police will have the authority and responsibility to enforce the law without bias or discrimination. Highlighting the critical responsibilities entrusted to the MPS, Minister Hassan emphasized the critical importance of adhering to these responsibilities. He urged a shift in the culture within the police force, encouraging accountability among leaders and holding subordinates responsible. Moreover, the minister reiterated the government's unwavering commitment to combating crime, emphasizing that no space will be given for criminal activities. He further noted that reducing crime levels is a central aim of the administration. Despite the government allocating $129 million annually to the MPS, representing 4% of the total budget, Minister Hassan urged efficient implementation of the strategic plan to achieve quicker results. Commissioner of Police Ali Shujao announces the establishment of a special department within the Maldives Police Service to combat drugs and gang-related crimes. This announcement was made during the inaugural ceremony of the strategic plan for the police forces. Addressing the ceremony, Shujao emphasized the importance of decentralizing police services while adhering to the rules and standards outlined in the Police Act. He stated that efforts are presently underway to empower commanders in different regions to provide services that are closely aligned with the needs of the people. The strategic plan for the MPS focuses on 5 key aspects according to Shujao. Over the next 4 years, the plan aims to upgrade MPS services significantly. This includes the formulation of a national strategy to combat drug abuse and gang violence, the establishment of a special department dedicated to addressing these issues, and the creation of an anti-scam center to reduce victimization. Furthermore, the plan involves the development and implementation of a local policy and strategy across the country to enhance neighborhood policing. Additionally, a digital data and technology command will be established in support future-focused and data-driven policy initiatives. The plan also includes strengthening police service delivery in urban centers and introducing mid-career programs to enhance leadership skills within the police force. Minister of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development Dr. Maria affirms the government's commitment to protect the rights and interests of all individuals active in the labour market. The remarks were made by the minister during the 112th International Labour Conference. Speaking at the conference, Minister Dr. Maria stated that the Maldives was a member of the International Labour Organization ILO since 2009. The minister highlighted the efforts of the government, especially focusing on protecting the rights and dignity of workers in the workplace. She further stressed that major constitutional and institutional reforms were made in recent years, aiming to protect the rights of workers while promoting labor in all islands across the nation. Furthermore, Minister Dr. Maria underscored the ongoing initiatives undertaken by the government in collaboration with employees and workers to protect the interests of all individuals in the labor market. The minister expressed Furthermore, the report reveals that the government spending has also notably reduced. Expenditures within the first 5 months of the year totaled $1.1 billion, with $889 million allocated to recurrent expenses and $226 million to capital expenditures. This represents a significant reduction in expenditures compared to the $1.2 billion spent by the government in 2023 during the corresponding time frame. Recurrent expenses cover $350 million for salaries and allowances and $525 million for administrative work. Meanwhile, capital expenditure primarily encompasses expenses related to structural development. Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy, Tariq Ibrahim, urges societal collaboration to achieve the overarching goal of the government to plant 5 million trees in the nation. The remarks were made by the minister during the ceremony held to officiate the project of planting 5 million trees, commemorating World Environment Day. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Tariq revealed that a study had been conducted to identify the endangered species of plants in the nation. He underscored the nationwide scope of the campaign extending to resorts, industrial islands, and residential areas. Stressing the program's significance in preserving the environment for future generations, he urged local councils, businesses, and private entities to actively engage in the endeavor. While 22 various types of trees were planted to launch the significant project, decisions have been made such that a total of 90 different types of trees. Climate Change, Environment and Energy, Tariq Ibrahim urges societal collaboration to achieve the overarching goal of the government to plant 5 million trees in the nation. The remarks were made by the minister during the ceremony held to officiate the project of planting 5 million trees, commemorating World Environment Day. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Tariq revealed that a study had been conducted to identify the endangered species of plants in the nation. He underscored the nationwide scope of the campaign extending to resorts, industrial islands, and residential areas. Stressing the program's significance in preserving the environment for future generations, he urged local councils, businesses, and private entities to actively engage in the endeavor. While 22 various types of trees were planted to launch the significant project, decisions have been made such that a total of 90 different types of trees will be planted under the project. Minister Tariq unveiled plans to establish nurseries in 3 regions across the nation to facilitate convenient public access to trees. The minister further assured comprehensive dissemination of project details, including ongoing monitoring of tree growth. In addition to this initiative, plans are underway to launch a special program to plant an additional 5 million trees over the next 5 years. Minister Tariq reaffirmed the government's commitment to transition in the nation to carbon neutrality and implementing effective waste management practices. The Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation, MMPRC, reveals that the Maldives will be showcased at this year's World Travel Market WTM at Excel London. MMPRC has now opened opportunities for participation in the event. Recognized as the world's most prestigious travel trade event, WTM provides a platform for key players in the UK travel sector to meet and discuss. Currently, the UK is the Maldives' third largest source market with over 75,000 tourists visiting as of April this year. MMPRC stated that it aims to enhance brand awareness by highlighting the diversity, beauty and unique offerings of the Maldives at WTM London. Through strategic networking, MMPRC plans to build relationships with the key UK and international travel business partners and share insights on tourism innovation. It will also emphasize the Maldives as a naturally safe destination. Co-exhibitors with MMPRC will have the opportunity to showcase their products and properties. Interested participants are invited to obtain information through the member portal before July 26th. MMPRC also urges participants to ensure their membership is renewed for this year to join the event. Ministry of Tourism reveals more than 900,000 tourists have visited the country so far. The latest statistics published by the Tourism Ministry show that a total of 904,000 tourist arrivals visited the Maldives till June 3rd, which is an increase of 10% compared to the 821,000 arrivals during the same period last year.
The statistics show that a total of 192,000 tourists visited the Maldives in January, 217,000 arrivals in February, 194,000 in March, 168,000 in April, 119,000 in May, and 11,530 tourists by June 3rd. The latest updated report reveals that Chinese tourists constitute the largest portion of total tourist arrivals so far this year, with 102,000 visitors. Following China, Russia, the United Kingdom, UK, along with Italy and Germany, stand out as the next highest sources of tourists, with 91,600 and 85,840, 75,600 and 73,000 arrivals respectively. On average, each tourist spends approximately 7 days in the Maldives, with an average of 3,500 visitors arriving daily. This consistent influx has spurred the government to set an ambitious target of attracting 2 million tourists by year end. The government has affirmed that 25% of its tourism target has been achieved during the first 4 months of this year.
Ford Motor Company announces its May US sales surged 11.2%, boosting its market share thanks to new models including the latest version of its flagship pickup, the F-150.
The Michigan-based automaker sold 190,014 vehicles last month and 878,000 since the start of the year, a 5.6% year-on-year rise. It claims to have outpaced the industry and increased its market share by 0.7 percentage points in May to 12.8%. That month alone, Ford marked an increase of more than 64% in both sales of electric vehicles, 8,866, and hybrids, 17,631, which the company said in a statement grew at a faster rate than both their respective industry segments. Sales of standard combustion vehicles meanwhile increased by 5.6% to 163,417. Chief Financial Officer John Lawler said in April that Ford and Lincoln brand results in the first quarter beat analysts' expectations, despite a loss in the Ford Model E division of electric vehicles due to fall in prices. Ford had high expectations from the ramp-up in production of the 2024 model F-150, which has been the best-selling pickup in the United States US for almost 5 decades. It sold 238,000 from January through May, with the electric version of the pickup recording a 91% sales jump. Its Maverick truck is America's best-selling pickup in the hybrid segment, with 33,700 sold in date in 2024, up 80.5% year-on-year. Ford is the only one of the 3 American legacy car makers to release monthly sales. General Motors and Stellantis are due to announce their second quarter US sales in early July, as are Tesla and Toyota. Japanese manufacturer Honda said its US sales rose by 6.4% in May to 127,000 vehicles and by 11.1% since the start of the year, placing it a bit above its 10% growth forecast for 2024.
China congratulates Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi following his election win, adding it was ready to work with its neighbor.
Both countries have regularly accused each other of trying to seize territory along the unofficial divide known as the Line of Actual Control and have clashed a number of times in the region. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mao Ning told a regular press conference that a healthy and stable China-India relationship is in the common interest of both sides and is also conducive to peace and development in the region and the world. She added that the Chinese side would like to congratulate Modi's BJP party and his National Democratic Alliance. Modi is facing the prospects of a far tougher than expected third term after his party failed to secure an outright majority for the first time since sweep into power a decade ago. The release of the results on Tuesday upended conventional wisdom throughout the 6-week election that Modi's Hindu nationalist agenda would power him to a landslide win. India has been wary of its northern neighbors' growing military assertiveness, and disputes over the 2 Asian giants' 3,500-kilometer shared frontier have been a perennial source of tension. China claims all of India's northeastern state, considering it part of Tibet, and the Asian giants fought a full-scale border war in 1962. A clash in 2020 along the border divide in Tibet from India's state led to a sharp deterioration in relations, with both sides sending major reinforcements to the area. But both countries in September 2022 began pulling back soldiers from a key flashpoint near that incident after more than a dozen rounds of top-level military talks and after a 2-year troop standoff. New Delhi is also concerned over Beijing's increasing presence in the Indian Ocean, seeing the region as firmly within its sphere of influence.
Luka Modric, Croatia's star midfielder,
Luka Modric, who turns 39 in September, is continuing to negotiate a new contract with Real Madrid after winning a 6th Champions League on Saturday. Luka secured the status of the best Croatian football player in history a long time ago. Head of the Croatian Football Federation, HNS, Kostic said in a statement that with his 6th European Championship title, he entered football history as one of the greatest players of this football era. Modric led Croatia to the final of the 2018 World Cup in Russia and 3rd place at the 2022 tournament in Qatar. The midfielder was also instrumental in taking Croatia to the Nations League final last year, where they lost to Spain. For Euro 2024, Modric will be returning to Germany, where he played in his first big tournament with the national team at the 2006 World Cup, just months after his Croatia debut. He has played 174 matches for Croatia and scored 24 goals. Modric remains beloved for remaining humble amid his soaring success. The midfielder grew up as a refugee in Zadar on the Dalmatian coast during the 1990s Independence War. Following the end of the fighting, Modric left Zadar and later played for Zagreb in 2000 and then joined English Premier League club Tottenham Hotspur in 2008. In 2012, Modric signed on with Real Madrid, where he has remained ever since. Despite the 4-2 defeat by France in the World Cup final in Russia, more than 5,000 people gave Modric and his team a heroic welcome home on their return to Zagreb. In 2018, Modric won the Ballon d'Or, football's most coveted award, for his role in Croatia's World Cup success and Real Madrid's 3rd straight Champions League trophy.
Boeing hopes that the 3rd time's a charm as they try once more to launch astronauts aboard a Starliner capsule bound for the International Space Station.
All personnel turn to recycle.
Liftoff is targeted from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida for roughly 1 week's stay at the orbital laboratory. The last attempt on Saturday was dramatically aborted with less than 4 minutes left of the countdown as the ground launch computer went into an automatic hold. The problem was later traced to a faulty power supply source connected to the computer, with the malfunctioning unit since replaced. And a buzzy valve on the United Launch Alliance ULA Atlas V rocket scuppered a previous attempt on May 6th, a few hours before launch. In both cases, astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams were strapped in and ready to go, only to be forced to return to strict quarantine in their quarters. The Starliner program has already been beset by years of safety scares and delays, and a successful mission would offer Boeing a much-needed reprieve from the intense safety concerns surrounding its passenger jets. NASA, meanwhile, is looking to certify Boeing as the 2nd commercial operator to ferry crews to the ISS, something Elon Musk's SpaceX has already been doing for the US Space Agency for 4 years. Both companies received multi-billion-dollar contracts in 2014 to develop new crew capsules, following the end of the Space Shuttle program that left the US temporarily reliant on Russian rockets for rides. Boeing, with its 100-year history, was heavily favored, but its program fell badly behind. Setbacks range from a software bug that put the spaceship on a bad trajectory on its first uncrewed test, to the discovery that the cabin was filled with flammable electric tape after the second.
That's all the news we have for today. Thank you all for watching.
Assalamu